It's August 30th and this is the Sunday garden tour. So we're still in the in-between stage of summer and fall, but the lettuce has been good for having some salads. I started this inside and I planted, and it's starting to come up some other lettuce seeds here. Spinach is coming up here, which is nice. I have some beets that are up, you can see with the purplish stems. And then a lot of radishes are coming up. So that's one of my broccolis. It's another broccoli. And this is my mammoth jalapeno. That's doing quite well. It's quite mammoth. It stopped flowering and fruiting because it was so hot, but it's started up again. So that's doing pretty well. My little squash, not so little. I have one delicata squash here and another one here. They're not quite ripe yet. They get more stripy when they're fully ripe, but they're very good. And I have this mystery tomato here, kind of green stripes. One turned a little pink and I ate it. It was pretty good, so I'm waiting to see what the others do. And my kale, I did a little weeding, but I didn't want to do so much because I don't want to like disturb the root systems of the actual plants. But I have some kale here, and then I planted some more just in case it wouldn't come up, or that this would die out, be choked out by weeds, but they're doing okay. Have some more lettuces there, some spinach over there is doing okay. My marigolds really are doing quite well. I just planted them because they ward off the bad bugs and bring in the good bugs. I do have some little onions here. Onion here, onion there, and onion there, but nothing really to write home about for that. And my tomatoes are limping along. I don't know if I should keep them or tear them out and use the space for other things that are fall related. I have enough that I feel I'll keep them for another, maybe through the end of September. Certainly I have some pretty big tomatoes here, but they're starting to get a little pockmarked, but I have some other ones starting to come here, so maybe they'll be okay. My beans are doing really well. I picked a lot of them this morning, but they do like to climb, and this has been a fun thing that they are going across the trellis, and it's fun to see them hanging down and picking them, which is kind of nice. I can show you some carrots, and I can show you some peppadews that are starting to get to turn ripe, or to ripen, I guess, as people would say. So here are some carrots right there, and here are some would-be carrots that are just coming up here. My peppers have kind of slowed down production. These are leeks. I started them inside and they're getting bigger, which is nice. But the peppadews have been prolific, but until now they haven't been ripening, but they just started to turn. So this one's just red. This one up here is starting to turn a little bit, and I have a lot more coming, so that'll be really nice. And I don't know what to think of this ground cherry. I enjoy the flavor, but it's so hard to pick. They all just fall to the ground, and it's just, you have to lift up every branch and pick them, and I just wonder, well, maybe next year I can train them up some sort of box trellis or something, so at least I can see the ground. It's just impossible to pick them this way, so the jury's out on that. I'm not quite sure what to do for that next year, if I'll even plant it again, but doing okay. I always take these on Sunday evenings, and by then I've picked all the peppers and I've picked all my produce and used them in cooking, so it doesn't look perhaps as impressive as it does in the mornings of the weekend. But I have some more tomatoes going, so overall it's turning over. This zucchini is pretty much dead. I should rip that out, but if you look at the size of that jalapeno, it's probably 3.5 feet tall, which is pretty tall for a jalapeno. And my beans there are starting to flower. No fruit on them yet. You can still see I have some cherry tomatoes there, and so there's a little bit more produce to gather. Just have to be patient.